So before we get into today's video, I want to apologize for the video yesterday on the channel about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There were some major audio issues. I had the music up way too loud. I didn't realize it until way after the fact when the video had already gone up, and by that time I had already gotten rid of the original file, so I couldn't tinker and lower the music and re-upload it. My bad. Mistakes happen. I'm sorry. If you can forgive me, please hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500,000 subscribers, but we got some bigger stuff to talk about today with the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, some technical mumbo jumbo allegedly dropped talking about some of the specs of the system, and I watched some people's videos and I didn't know what they were saying. It didn't make sense to me. I feel like Spawnwave, if he talks about it, might be able to break it down a little bit. But for me, the average Joe, who I feel like most of us who play games are the average Joe, we're not the tech-savvy consumer, we don't know what the hell any of this means. But there is a man that does know what this means, and that man is Nathan Birch over at WCCF Tech. And Nathan Birch, this looks like a man who could tell you about technology, because Nathan Birch did a write-up on this whole situation, the alleged leak, all this sort of stuff. And basically, I just want to read it with you guys, talk to you guys about it, and tell you guys my thoughts on this alleged leak. All right, so the homie Nathan Birch, who doesn't know who the hell I am, has written this article on WCCF Tech, and we're going to break it down, kind of read it, and see if we can make sense of it. Nintendo Switch successor's new NVIDIA Tegra chip, rumored to use Samsung 5nm 5LPP process. Holy crap, honest. They're going 5LPP. Double PP on this. Crazy. This is craziness. I don't know how to react to this. There's been rumblings for some time now about a successor to the Nintendo Switch, something that's clearly past due as new Switch titles increasingly struggle to squeeze adequate performance out of the slim hybrid console. While speculation has been rampant, rumors about the silicon that will power the new Switch have remained relatively stable for years, but we may have a bit of an update. Korean insider at OreXda, we'll just spell it out for you, OREXDA, who has delivered accurate leaks in the past, mainly pertaining to the mobile industry, claims that Nintendo's next console will be powered by a new NVIDIA Tegra chip, which will be built using Samsung's 5nm 5LPP 5nm low power plus process technology. We can see here the tweet, and I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what any of this means. You know, a new Tegra chip. Okay, I know what Tegra is. Tegra X1 runs the Nintendo Switch. It also runs the NVIDIA Shield. It was an interesting thing because like it ran NVIDIA Shield TV as well, and those things were capable of things like upscaling and whatnot, things that the Nintendo Switch never actually got. That system was actually able to upscale like video and stuff like that, the NVIDIA Shield TV, whereas the Switch never got that stuff, even though they were both based on the Tegra X1 chip. So I know what Tegra is, but holy hell, what is this other stuff? But thankfully, Nathan Birch is going to break it down. So why is this significant? Well, previously it was rumored that the Switch Pro / 2 or whatever it ends up being called was going to be powered by a new NVIDIA Tegra chip based on the Ampere architecture. And of course, Ampere uses TSMC 7nm or Samsung NM process tech. Here's what Nintendo Switch's new Tegra chip was previously rumored to be bringing to the table. It was going to be an Oron chip that was going to have CUDA cores and ARMTex cores. Okay. While we really don't know anything about the Switch's successor's system on a chip at this point, if they have moved to 5nm tech, that would mean the new Tegra chip will be more modern, more power efficient, and certainly more powerful than the previously rumored chip. That's what matters to me here, folks. That's the nitty-gritty stuff. The move to 5nm tech would make sense given some other rumors we've heard. There were recent reports that Nintendo canceled a mid-generation Switch Pro, instead opting to focus on a true next-generation console. If that's indeed the case, they obviously want to further boost the capabilities of the silicon powering the machine. And then basically saying, you know, some of the stuff we've talked about where Doug Bowser thinks that, you know, the system's going to live on for a while. There's lots of good discussion in the comments section here. A lot of stuff about teraflops and core speeds. And yes, obviously, this is something that you have to take with a grain of salt. But this person has been accurate about stuff before. They are based in Korea, so they may have different information that is based on, you know, the United States. And so what does all this mean? What sort of capabilities is the system going to have? On paper, it seems like it would be, you know, stronger. Like, here's the thing. It's very hard to go one-to-one with these sort of things, with these different chips. It's not like the bit wars where it's like, you know, theoretically speaking, 64 bits is stronger than 16 bits, even though there are Genesis games that look better than Jaguar games. But then you have the N64, which obviously did things very different. Both of those systems, the Jaguar and the N64, were 64-bit systems, but they worked very differently. So it's hard to get like a baseline here. Is this going to be like a baseline PlayStation 4 or a baseline VCR Xbox One model? Is this technology going to be outdated? Because obviously technology is consistently moving. It's kind of hard to say. I've seen some people saying that it's going to be stronger than a Steam Deck, stronger than an Xbox, and it very may well be. That couldn't end up being the case indeed. But based on this information, it's kind of hard to say that accurately, because you have to remember, Nintendo's probably not going to use just the standard chip that's out there, because they didn't use the standard Tegra X1 chip. It was slightly modified for the Nintendo Switch in order to do things like have a better battery life and be a more optimal system in terms of a handheld mode. With this being a Tegra-based system, does that mean that backwards compatibility could be an easier thing? Who's to say? You know, it's very early at this point. If we're basing it on this information, this is probably some of the newest technology that Nintendo has used in quite a while, because it's a little bit more advanced than what was already rumored to be coming to the system. But in terms of, it really doesn't matter. You know, specs don't really matter if you're not using those specs to their maximum capabilities, if you're not pushing the envelope with what these specs can do, because you know, you could throttle these things back, you could hold these things back, you could hold back CPUs or make CPUs less optimized so that they run more efficiently on terms of battery and stuff. That's like the whole overclocking thing on the Nintendo Switch. You can overclock a Switch to make it run faster so that the games run better, but you lose the battery life. That's basically what overclocking is. As far as I understand it, at the end of the day, you got to remember, I'm a man just like you. I'm a consumer just like you. Sure, I might know some more history than you do. You might know some more history than me, but you know, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. I am just providing the information that is out there to you, giving you guys my perspective on it, possibly a different perspective than you've heard from other people. And it's exciting, man. It's exciting. New hardware stuff is always exciting. You know, hopefully we learn about this. You know, between this and Zelda, it seems like, you know, is Nintendo going to give us a 1-2 punch this year where they drop Tears of the Kingdom in May and then talk about a new Nintendo system that potentially comes out in early 2024? I hope so. I think that would be fun for a lot of people, and it would be fun for, you know, Nintendo YouTubers, but I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber, so it wouldn't be as enjoyable to me as it is to them. I'll run that joke into the ground. I don't care. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. Are you a smart person who understands ARM cores and CUDA cores and Barracuda by heart? And if so, that's cool. That's a good song. And as always, guys, thank you for sticking with me. Sorry about the video from yesterday. I've got some more cool stuff coming up, some stuff that's a little bit different. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be on the lookout for it very soon. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.